Hello again there. Got another very special little exercise here for you. We're going to look at sine and cosecant. Remember, cosecant is the inverse of sine. What is sine? Okay, well, I'll start by dropping a little vertical. You got your everything, any straight line in the coordinate plane can be made into a little right triangle. And all these right triangles originate at the origin. And you got this is a unit circle again, so this is the hypotenuse is length of 1, so this makes it nice and easy, right, for sine and cosine and secant and cosecant. So I would like for you to pause the video and write the sine and cosecant values for theta 1, then theta 2 goes over here. I put the coordinates, and also in quadrant 3 there's the coordinates, and in quadrant 4. So pause the video, write the sine and cosecant for each of those, and then I will answer them. Okay. Also, I'd like to, what is the angle of theta 1? Do you recognize this special right triangle? So we're reviewing a couple things at a time here, okay? You got to know a lot of things here, so don't feel, don't be bummed out if you don't remember every bit of this, and if you don't, if you have trouble with any of it, tell me, and I'll make another little lesson about specific parts of it, okay? And as you continue to exercise on this, I think it'll all become real clear. Or maybe you already get it all. You can tell me on WhatsApp. Just let me know. Too easy, whatever. Or I didn't get this. Will you give me another little lesson on whatever? Okay, let's go on this. So sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So like I said, the hypotenuse on the unit circle is nice and simple every time. It's always 1. So the sine would be this side, which is the y value. The opposite is the y value, so square root of 2 over 2 divided by 1. So the sine is square root of 2 over 2. And cosecant is 1 over square root of 2 over 2. So you flip it over, you have 2 over the square root of 2 multiplied by square root of 2 over square root of 2. You wind up with 2 square root of 2 over 2, which will give you square root of 2. Okay, so just a little review here. Sine is always, the value of sine is always between 0 and 1, including 0 and 1. But cosecant can be anywhere from 0 to infinity. Okay, and I'll review that in another lesson. But anyways, sine, just remember for right now, sine is between 0 and 1. And so what is this angle? Do you remember this? I mean, this special right triangle is half of a square, right? Because both of the legs are the same length. All right? And so you got the, what's that special right triangle? 45, 45, 90. So angle 1 is 45 degrees, or negative, what would it be? A negative 315, negative 315, negative 315 degrees. Or add 360, that's 405 degrees. Remember, we got several ways we can get here, many ways. Okay, let's go look at, so in quadrant 1, sine and cosecant are positive. Okay, in quadrant number 2, we have if you drop this down, I got a positive y value and a negative x value. Well, we don't care about the x value for sine, do we? We only care about the y value. So the values will be the same. You know, our hypotenuse is still 1, and this side is a positive x, right? Positive square root of 2 over 2. So square root of 2 over 2 and the square root of 2. And what is that angle, just for practice here? Well, this would be 45 degrees. So I could do 180 minus 45. 135? 135 degrees. What if I went negative, what would it be? It'd be negative 180 plus a negative 45, negative 225. So it could be equals negative 225. Just for practice there, okay? Recognizing these, we would be using these special right. You're probably already, you've done a ton of special right triangles, I'm sure. Okay, so quadrant 2, the values are the same as quadrant 1 because we're talking about the y value, so we're in positive y. Okay, so you can see what's going to happen to the value of sine and cosecant down here in quadrants 3 and 4 because y is negative here. Okay, so that's the only difference. So you'll start to get used to this, I believe, the more you practice and just pay attention. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. This hypotenuse is 1 again. And now this is negative square root of 2 over 2. So these values are negative square root of 2 over 2 and negative square root of 2. Because I'm flipping over, my sign won't change. Okay, so in quadrant 3, it's the values of sine and cosecant are negative, and in quadrant 4, once again, I got a negative, my little sketch didn't line up, but negative square root of 2 over 2. My y value is negative again, my opposite side of my angle. Oh, I didn't talk about what would this, let's just for fun, what would this be? If I went negative, it'd be negative 180 minus 45 would get me down to negative 135. And yeah, you can look up here. That was 135. This is negative 135. Well, I bet this is 225. Sure enough, 180 plus 45, 225. Get me to that spot. Okay. And sine and cosecant in quadrant 4, like I said, and y is negative, so you got negative square root of 2 over 2 and negative square root of 2. And measure of theta 4 would be negative 45 degrees, or positive 360 minus 4, positive 315 if I went all the way around to get to there, right? Okay. All right. I'll make one more video about cosine and secant. Hope this helps you.